Think about that, like that, how important that piece of intel is.
So people don't think that all of this is such a serious time, and that the human side doesn't come in. Tell me a story. Tell me a story of one time when you went into a village and they came to you with an ask that you weren't expecting, something that made you chuckle, something that made you say, "Why didn't I think of that ahead of time?"
Oh man, it's the most obvious stuff. He had been the commander's interpreter, and finally I'd stayed long enough in that area where I'm like, I'm just taking you, and we're gonna out hustle all of these guys. So here's the story from. And there's a lot of stories, but here's the one I'm going to tell you. 2 or 3 commanders before, that commander had set a meeting to have the Iraqi general come to the American camp. Now, in theory, it's all the Iraqi commanders' camps, but that's not how we act. And I know this because I learned this from us. And so that general comes and he's stuck outside the gate, and it's 100 and fucking million degrees outside, and he can't get access to the American gate for whatever fucking reason. And so they sweated that general out for hours, and he never forgave them. I guarantee if I went and found that guy today, if he was still alive, he'd be like, yeah, still pissed off about that. Think about that. Would you ever do that to an American general and
No.
say, hey, you're not coming on this camp, we'll get back to you? Here's the opposite end of that story. Think about that, like that, how important that piece of intel is. But it taught me a lot about how we treat our partners, and what we say, what we actually do, and what they perceive that action as.
People miss the history of relationships, especially when we're coming and going, and the commanders may change, but that general was there. That was home for him. And there's parts of this world where certain cultures hold grudges, as we know. And those grudges become deeply ingrained and part of their society and part of their culture.